Yo, okay, all right, my bad, peoples, my bad. It's your boy MM2K. I'm sitting there chatting along and cutting up, you know what I'm saying? And y'all mugs can't even hear me because I got the wrong headset on. That's super genius right there for you, super genius. All right, let me fix a couple things real quick because we are not going to be too long with this. Your boy got some things to do. I got to get to bed. All right. Let's see here. There we go. All right. I think we copacetic right now. I think we good. I think that's good. All right. So it's your boy MM2K. Look, I'm dropping this late video because here's the deal, peoples. I was working on the latest episode of The Medicine. All right. Now this one's gonna be a doozy. You know what? I can't even guarantee that I'm gonna release it, man. I don't even think y'all ready for the sickness, man. Oh man, this is crazy. So you know, I'm gonna have to run this by the CDC, see if y'all even ready for this potency, because this is some crazy ish right here. So because I'm working on it, there's a lot to it, a lot of layers. You know what I'm saying? It's testing my production skills a little bit. I said, let me chop something up for y'all to enjoy tomorrow or today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about, you know, some of the latest news for a little bit, for about a half an hour while I chop it up on the game. Let me see here. I finally got me a mission. All right, so here's the deal. A couple things we want to talk about. First thing is I guess we want to talk about this IGN article. You know what I'm saying? Where IGN is talking about, hey, you know, the Xbox One X is not free, or PUBG isn't free because you got to pay $500 to get it, which is the most absurd thing ever. And like I said, I got a video talking about this, so you know what I'm saying. I really wasn't sweating this because, as far as I'm concerned, IGN is no longer a credible source. If you're still getting your news from IGN, then you just are unaware, or you up under a rock. There is no need for you to go to them. We've already proven that they you know what I'm saying, that they done cast their last check as far as credibility. You know what I mean? Like, I shared the video, Next Gen 720 shared the video where these mugs was like, yo, basically when the Pro came out, they was like, yo, getting a 4K TV for the Pro. Oh hell yeah!
Never let me drive anymore. Just cause that one time.
But then they was like, when it came to the Xbox One X, they was like, getting a 4K. You gotta get a 4K TV for that. And the fact of the matter is, no, you don't. You don't have to get a 4K TV for the X. Okay. Because the X does the super sampling, and because the X does the super sampling, games look marvelous on the 1080p TV, more so than they would on the Pro super sampling is garbage. Trust me, as a Pro owner, I know the ins and outs of that game, and I'm not one of the, look, man, I don't even have it like that, man. I don't even, that's not even my MO to buy something. That's the new thing right now. People want to say, oh, you just bought that just so you can smash it or bash it. No. Number one, it's the opposite. I can't say I like something or don't like something unless I buy it. That makes me fraudulent. So even if I am biased towards something, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm keeping the system and I'm playing it, I don't see what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? Now, even after I buy it, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to like it just because I buy something. You don't like everything that you buy. So because I like something, because I buy something that I may not like, that you may like, doesn't make me a fraud for not liking it. We got a problem in today's society. I hate to be the old man shaking his fist at the damn window, but we got a problem in today's society to where if I don't validate your purchase, then it's all out warfare. You know what I'm saying? And that's baloney. I ain't got to like what you like. But anyway, so as a Pro owner, you know what I'm saying, I got the Pro because I couldn't wait for the Xbox One X. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the mugs, money burns a hole in my damn pocket.
Second target.
And I wanted to see some 4K upgrades like right now. You know what I mean? And
I got a
I
third
remember
target.
my man's, my connect at GameSpot was like, yo, and he's a PlayStation dude. He's like, yo, man, who you talking to? I'm talking to everybody, man. I'm not online with nobody. PS, sit down. I'm doing this is a special version of the medicine. I'm filming it early, and I'm gonna re-release it to everybody. So my man PS Sit Downs is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to PS Sit Down. That's what I'm doing right now because I was chopping up some video for tomorrow, and it's a little heavy. It's a little thick. It's a little rich. It's some lumpy oatmeal. I don't know if y'all ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna do this right now for tomorrow. We're gonna see if we can release it on Wednesday. But that's what I'm doing right now. PS Sit Down. But I appreciate the question. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I got the Pro because I wanted to see some upgrades for 4K visuals. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, keep it 100. I had got the S right before I got my Pro. I did not notice with the S doing this 4K upscale, you know what I'm saying? I did not notice a substantial difference because again, a lot of what the Pro does is resolution based, you know what I'm saying? I did not see no serious upgrade in textures and graphics and all that other stuff. So when I got the Pro, I was heavily disappointed. I didn't spend $400 on the Pro just to dog it out because I lost money when I traded it back in. So that's ridiculous. So people that want to talk that garbage, I get that there's some people out there, but if people buy the system and they keep it, the likelihood that they're doing it for just to dog it is ridiculous. What you say, PS Sit Down? Some ponies say the X is a little bit more. You're right. They're ridiculous. Shit, yeah. Texas is a little bit more farther from New York than the moon is. Right. Or vice versa. You know what I mean? Get out of here, man. Not you PS Sit Down, but them cats talking that crazy garbage. Straight up. I can let you know right now. Again, as a Pro owner, you are not seeing significant increases in graphics and textures. The Pro was designed to give you VR. Anything above that, Andrew House and team and Mark Cerny with his line ass, they didn't focus too much on that. Their biggest thing was Xbox. I mean, it was this PlayStation VR. But back to the point at hand. So,
got the target.
Copy. Changing target.
When IGN said that mess where they was like, yo, I gotta buy a 4K TV for the PlayStation. I mean, for the PlayStation Cool. I gotta buy a 4K TV for the Xbox One X. Oh man, that's garbage. When they did that, they lost all credibility. So anybody paying them any attention that is aware of that, I think you're kind of exposing yourself. You know what I'm saying? As far as your gaming IQ, I really can't trust it. You know what I'm saying? I really can't trust your agenda. So I don't listen to IGN. So when they dropped that article talking about, oh, PUBG isn't free, it's $500, that's the dumbest thing ever. You gotta play it on something, so you gotta pick a system if you don't already have it.
They smell better than Holt.
You know what I'm saying? Did y'all say that when people had to buy Uncharted, when it came with the bundle? And I don't even think Uncharted was bundle free. What is you talking about? And you ain't got to buy PUBG with the system. That's the other thing that riddles me. I can understand if the only way you can get PUBG is if you bought the system, then you said, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then I get you. But that's not the case. You can get PUBG without buying the system at all. So again, that's just hate. And anybody that says that the media is not biased against Microsoft, they're full of baloney.
That's one down.
That's the biggest crock of whatever of monkey dung ever. Oh no, there ain't no Xbox is just doing bad. No, you know nobody's perfect. And yeah, if you want to say as far as fanfare, yeah, Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, they can step it up. They can definitely step it up. But everything they do is not horrible, and not everything that that Sony is doing is not great. Like for instance, I'm just reading an article today where Kotaku finally jumped on Sony's case because, you know, their version of backwards compatibility is you going to a store and paying again for your PlayStation 2 games. Now, I really don't know how enhanced they are, if they're upgraded at all. But the simple fact that you're paying for these games a second time, that's ridiculous. Well, Microsoft gives you the option, if you already got it in your library, hey, you know what I'm saying, you can play the disc that you've already maintained. Now, come on now. All y'all sitting there talking that garbage and how great these PlayStation games are and options is the best. Come on now, y'all love these PlayStation 2 games. They're remarkable. They're treasures in time.
To that local.
So the simple fact that you got to keep paying for them over and over again is ridiculous. You don't already pay for them. I'm gonna go to my man PS It Down. He's like, I think some of these ponies are still salty over the 360 days. They never got over the Xbox getting the better multiplats online and Microsoft getting 50% of the market share Sony once held with. Oh yeah, look man, here's the deal, man. Let me explain something to you, PS It Down. You hit it right on the nose, man. You're gonna make this a special episode of the medicine, man. Hey yo, look, here's the deal. A lot of these dudes, look, I'm an old school gamer, okay? I'm telling my age. I've been gaming since the 80s. I don't know how old you are, PS It Down, but you know, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I've been gaming since the 80s, since the early, mid-80s. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing the Commodore 64. You know what I'm saying? The ColecoVision. I had the Atari 265200. I done had them all. Only thing I ain't had was an N64, and I had every single video game system that was ever out there except the N64, and I didn't have a Neo Geo at the time. The peoples that I was staying with had a Neo Geo, but I won't claim it. But I played it. You know what I mean? With that being said, look, man. These mugs grew up in an era where Final Fantasy came out. Okay, Final Fantasy 7. I was playing 5. You know, I was in Final Fantasy for when these mugs were just swimming in the scrotes. So, when they came across Final Fantasy 7 and all of its dramatic glory and all that other stuff, and I'm not saying the game was bad, but when they came across that, that's all they know. And I was ushered in by Sony, right?
Get a good sight line.
So, when
Target acquired.
Sony is not
Target acquired. Standing by.
on top, they don't know how to handle
Moving
it.
to position.
Because in their eyes,
Say
you
the
got to
word.
remember,
I don't have a
at
shot.
that time, Sony made gaming cool. Gaming came out of the shadows when Sony was doing it. So that's all they
Moving
know.
to position.
That's all they can relate to. So therefore, you got people, that's why you got people like Ryan Giggs.
He's dead.
This dude said, yo, last generation, when Final Fantasy came out on both systems, when Sony was losing its exclusives, Ryan Giggs of IGN of the same publication said, yo, I can't play Final Fantasy on an Xbox console because the PlayStation reminds me too much of cool. What the hell does that mean? That means nothing. That means that you're a Sony fanboy. You stuck your flag in the Sony pile of shit, and anything Sony does, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna co-sign on. And I can't do that. I can't do that. I prefer Microsoft, but if they were ever to fall completely off the rails, you know what I'm saying? I'd have to change my mind about some things. You know what I mean? But I like Microsoft because they come unique. I can't do the hug me dramatic games, all of the stuff, but that's me. I don't mind anybody's preference. That's theirs. But the simple fact of the matter is yes, you are absolutely right. To make a long story short, they are salty. They're beyond salty because they want everybody to like what they like, and what they like is Microsoft. And when you don't like Microsoft, like instead of telling Microsoft to do better, they was crying, oh man, this is a great system, man. Y'all should like it, man. Y'all should like it. It's a great system. Oh. Instead of saying, look, man, y'all done messed up. The download times to play a game is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Your demos are garbage. You know what I mean? Like your user interface is horrible. Your online network is crazy. Your security is whack. Like they just got two-way authentication this generation. They got hacked last generation. What the hell's going on here? Steam done picked it up right after they got hacked. Steam ain't get hacked. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're absolutely right, PS Sit Down. These mugs is still crazy. And what it is that if you don't validate their choices, if you don't like their Horizon Zero Yawns and all that other stuff, then you ain't, you know, it's garbage, it's garbage, it's garbage. Now, here's what I don't understand. All right. If you know that your product or the thing that you bought is superior, if you listen to these PlayStation podcasts, all they talk less about their games and they talk more about what Microsoft ain't doing. Now, if Microsoft had a 70 million console lead and they was selling software 2-to-1, you would never hear me talk about Sony. So that tells you right there. I'm gonna go back to PS Sit Down. He said the third party made PS1 and PS2. SNES had the most of the third party support, but Nintendo screwed up with the N64 based cartridge and GC mini disc. Microsoft came in with XBL and took some of that third party stuff. Yeah. I mean, one of my last favorite console from Nintendo, while we speak of Nintendo, was the GameCube. Okay, GameCube was marvelous, but you know what really killed the GameCube was its button layout. As crazy as that may sound, that's what killed the GameCube. It did not have enough button layouts. It didn't have the push-in analog sticks, and that's what you need when you was playing games that generation. You know what I'm saying? Because there was so many controls, and then you had to supplement with these, you know, hold on to left trigger, then tap A, then hold your breath. You had to do all this crazy shit to supplement the fact that you didn't have all the controls that you had for the on the Xbox, the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. Because I love the GameCube, man. I love its variety of games, and until the games got more complex and complicated, that's where I prefer to play my games. So that's and from my experience, that's what's killed the GameCube. Now, as far as PlayStation 2, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was third parties that were exclusive on the system, aka second party games, that made the system. And as I always try to tell people, you got people that say, no, exclusives mean everything. No, it's not first party games that mean so much. It's these third party games that mean so much. And if all the third party games that people want to play, your Final Fantasies, you know what I'm saying? Your GTAs, you know what I'm saying? If all those is exclusive to PlayStation, then PlayStation wins. Undoubtedly. So I think people mix the fact that the popular third-party games were exclusive on PlayStation, therefore they were second-party, you know, games being, you know, third-party exclusives. And then they stay console exclusive like they weren't timed. I think people are mistaking that and think that, you know, they're putting more weight on exclusives. Being how you really don't have a whole bunch of second parties like you did back then. It's all third party now. Third party rules. They got duped with the PlayStation 2 Emotion engine and the PlayStation 3 Cell engine. All bullshit. They paid $600 for a lesser system a year later with the weaker. Yeah, I mean, Sony basically, they talk about lies, man. They talk about lies. Meanwhile, they were not complaining when Sony was giving them the okie doke. And boy, was they getting the okie doke from Sony. When Sony was making them mugs play $600 for a console because that console was supposed to last 2 generations, the fanboys was sopping that up. It was just the casuals like, hell no. Like, I'm not paying $600 for this. And 2, the games don't even play better on the system. Y'all don't mean that much to us. And see, the fanboys that are so emotionally involved with PlayStation, again, PlayStation made gaming cool to them. You gotta, again, we gotta remember that emotional tie. I can't play Final Fantasy on an Xbox machine because PlayStation, you know, reminds me of cool. What the does that mean? So you gotta remember all that emotional tie that these mugs have, raising championship belts at E3 like something spectacular was shown. No. So remember that emotional tie and understand that they will come up with anything to validate why they think the PlayStation is just leagues ahead. Now here's the thing. PlayStation is doing well because it is the preferred system for multiplats. Period. It has nothing to do with exclusives. I'm sorry. Because when the system really started pulling ahead, when it really started doing that 2-to-1, Sony had no noteworthy exclusives. I believe that's the same year that your boy Adam, not Adam Boys, they just kicked to the curb. Andrew House and your boy Yoshida said, look, we know our exclusive things is like. We know. And if you look at it, their attach rate on their exclusives are 3%, where if you average it against the top 50 multi-plat games on the same system for PlayStation 4, it's 8%. That's almost triple. They are ahead because as you walked into a GameStop, PSN down, let me get to your question in a second. And I walked into a GameStop, everybody was talking, yo, I remember, if you want to play multiplayer games, Xbox might be a better system, but PlayStation's ecosystem, multiplayer ecosystem is tough right now. But if you want to play multi-plat games, you know what I'm saying, PlayStation is the place to go for the simple fact that the games look better on the PlayStation. They said that everywhere. To act like that wasn't drilled in the casual gamer's head and I didn't stick with them is a farce. To act like that these casual gamers is buying even Uncharted is a farce. They bought, the reason why Uncharted is showing that it sold 9 million is because it was bundled with the console. They always do this with Uncharted and they know to do it now because it's smart. They bundled Uncharted with the PlayStation 4 console. They know that Uncharted only sells gangbusters when it's bundled with the console. So that's why it has its 9 million.
Damn,
the average casual gamer does not care about Uncharted. They care about Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden, maybe some Destiny. And that's and you know what I'm saying? And if you want the only exclusives they care about is Halo, alright, God of War, Gears of War, and I will say, you know, Uncharted, but again, Uncharted does not sell gangbusters standalone. It's always when it's bundled with the console does it sell well. All right, let me get to your question.